Hi YouTubers and subscribers, it's time for a garden update on the homestead. The first tour that we took had really great feedback, and we had lots of questions about the type of gardening that we're doing. We used a revised method of the Back to Eden gardening, and it has worked very, very well on our homestead. But we have a real particular set of issues here. We had really bad soil, we had lots of rocks, we have clay, we had bad drainage. So our revised method with adding our own composting and adding some of the other amendments that we have created on our homestead works really well. But I will say, for any person who is starting a new garden, all you newbies out there, and there's a lot of people who are coming to our channels who are new, and I've been asking really great questions, know that there's great resources out there, lots of different methods out there, but always think about your particular situation. What works for the guy in one state, say in California, may not work over in Minnesota. And the same thing, if you're out in Georgia, what gardening method works for the people over in that region may not work for the guy down in Arizona. We are really self-contained here on this homestead with our food scrapping, our human manure composting. We've got chickens now. You know, everything that we do on this homestead, we look and plan, and we see what is going to add to our self-sustainability. And one of the reasons why we got chickens wasn't just for the eggs, it was for the manure. And so you have to think that way when you are really serious about becoming more self-reliant, because it is a whole continual circle, and you are part of that ecological circle, and you want it to be as productive and as efficient as you can. So come along and let's do the tour today. I'm so excited because things are just exploding, and it's so cool. Okay, seeing is believing, people. Look at this. These are the potato plants, and I'm so excited because the experiment, I don't know what experiment is working out better. These were the direct sow, right into the ground with wood chips on top. And look at the growth here in this patch. Just phenomenal. I think there was about 7 inches of just wood chips on it. Then my husband decided to do these over here, and these again started in the soil, but he didn't add wood chips, he added mulch to it. But look, great phenomenal growth. And these two had dirt with a little bit of mulch on top. I don't know, the proof definitely is in the pudding. Everything is exploding. Is one method working better than the other? Not really. They all are looking outstanding. So, okay, but the rest of the garden, this is a jungle. Look at this area. We do, and I haven't talked about this before. I've always said, you know, we have edible landscaping. We do a permaculture type of gardening here, and we mix different vegetables and plants together that are compatible. We use a lot of flowers, different types of wildflowers to bring in the bees on our homestead. We use the recycled tires. That's all part of permaculture, people. That's all part of permaculture. And I'll do a video one day on the permaculture and how we have incorporated into the success of this homestead. But this is kind of a classic permaculture bed because it's got a little bit of everything. My cabbage plants are just doing outstanding. They're mingled in with the broccoli plants, which my husband has been nipping on like a deer. Then we've got, I think, a pumpkin plant in there. And I think we've got a tomato plant in there. I mean, they're all coexisting quite well together. And again, with the wood chips, a big layer of wood chips on top of this bed. And these peppers, I know you guys might not get as excited over them as I am, but these were started from seed. And we had such a horrible time starting our peppers from seeds, and these survived. And look, they're actually getting super tiny peppers on them. What my husband did is, this method really worked. He transplanted them, and they were about this small, put them in the ground, and because peppers really love heat, he cut like lemonade and juice bottles in half. They were plastic clear, and put them over the plant themselves, and it acted as a greenhouse. And I tell you, these things stayed with us, and they look great. I gotta show you guys my celery. Look at the celery. It is so beautiful and lush. And you know, this is the thing. It has been 100+ degrees on the homestead. This is no lie. And you can see we get full force sun. And celery needs a lot of moisture. It's a root plant. But you dig on down here and you rake back all of those wood chips. And what do we have? Oh, it's getting cool. It's getting cool. And I dig right in there. And look at that. Can you see it? It's beautiful, moist soil. Look at that. That's the beauty of having this thick, thick layer of wood chips on with compost, because we don't have to water this. I think we've watered twice so now. I'm going to show you guys my pepper plants, and they are doing outstanding. The growth is phenomenal, and they look so healthy. But a couple weeks ago, my husband noticed that they weren't as green as they should be. And he does have some tricks up his sleeve, and one of them is Epsom salt. Yes, Epsom salt. If you don't know about this garden trick, you'll know about it now, because Epsom salt actually has magnesium sulfate in it, and plants like peppers and tomatoes love magnesium sulfate. So if you see your peppers or your tomato plants getting a little on the yellow side, not as green as they should be, what you do is you take about a tablespoon of that and add it to your plant. Now, because we have such thick wood chips, he had to, push back the wood chips, sprinkle the Epsom salt on the base, and then water it. But you could also add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt in a gallon of water. So cute. And pour it on the plant, okay? And I'll show you how beautiful these look. Aren't you? Oh, you're doing so good. Oh, we just got some rain, so I had to take a break. But look at this. I want to mention real quick. Okay, beautiful peppers. Epsom salt works really good. And remember I said about that chicken poop? We have been sprinkling chicken poop on top of the beds here. And don't freak out. You never want to add chicken poop directly, especially fresh chicken poop. You need to age it. But we are adding it now because we've got these thick beds. You can see how thick these beds are. This is all basically wood chips, and you have to dig down really, really deep to get to the soil. So over time, nature will take its course and break down that chicken poop, and that's why we can add it now. We're not adding it directly to the soil, people. We're adding it now to the top of the bed. And like with this beautiful rain right now, over time, that stuff will start breaking down and sifting down into the soil, and it will just add. But look at these beautiful peppers. I get so excited. Look at that. They're just really exploding. They're healthy. They're big. And every plant has some type of pepper on it. Look at these. They're so tiny. And the cool thing is, these peppers, they start off really small. You can see these are kind of short plants. And then they start loading up with peppers. But then after a while, they will get some height. Look at these are my bananas. And look at every plant. So I've got so many different varieties. I've got bananas. I've got red peppers. I've got orange peppers. I've got lots of hot peppers. Look at that. Ooh, bang. Flowers, lots of flowers. Oh, there's another one. Oh, these are, look at that. Oh, they're everywhere. And these, oh, I think these are, you can't see them, but the other side, those are jalapenos, Hungarian waxes. Oh, beautiful. Some more, those are like hot chilies. I love my peppers. So that's kind of the update on the beautiful peppers. And the other thing you are not going to believe, and this is so exciting, because if you remember in my last video, I was talking about the tomatoes as I stood here and said, these tomatoes are a little bit small, but once they take off, they're going to take off. Well, look at this. They are getting to be half bush, half tree size. And it happened within, really, people, 2 weeks. When tomatoes up here take off, they take off. And you can see, I mean, these are our cherry tomatoes. Look at this. We've got some beef masters. We've got some Romas, but I'm just going to walk. Look at this. Look at how beautiful. And I'm going to look real close here. These are getting super, super thick. They're turning into like I said, tree stumps, and they all are getting flowers on them. They're getting so big now that my husband is doing the cages, and what we did to save money, instead of going out like to Home Depot and buying the regular tomato cages, which we find just aren't big enough, simply because these things, you can see how big they are already. They don't hold really well. So last year we did like the string method, and we put some stakes in, lots of stakes, you can see them over there, the remnants of them, with a lot of strings. Even that didn't work well. It was kind of a mess because the fruit, the tomatoes got so big and the vines got so heavy that things would drip over, and the rope just wasn't holding it. So because we have chickens and we have leftover fencing, oh, that was so cool that we had leftover fencing, we utilize everything on our homestead so we don't have to keep reinvesting money. He made all of these beautiful tomato cages. So isn't this awesome? Now the other thing I want to point out, and I'm sure a lot of you very smart gardeners who could give me some advice, this is for the newbies. If you're starting a new garden and you haven't grown tomatoes before, we grow what's called an indeterminate type of tomato, and that's usually your cherries, your beef masters. They grow like a vine. And what happens is they develop suckers, and the suckers take a lot of energy, and it actually takes away from growing big fruit. What you want to do is usually my husband comes out here every day, but say every couple days, you need to go through your plant and look for the suckers. Now suckers are like tiny new branches, and they sprout in the spot usually between a branch and a stem. And if you look here, he's done some pruning already, but you start at the base here, and then you start looking at the whole plant. And usually what you want to do is you see where the flower is, and that's where you want to take the sucker. Anything below the first flower cluster, you want to start breaking off. Now it looks like these need to be pruned back a little bit more than what he's doing, but say I've got this one here, just take that one off. There's another one here, just take that one off. This one here, and you see how easy they just kind of pop off. Now this one, this one's too big. This should come. And if you don't do it by hand, you can take little clippers, but don't be afraid. It's like, oh, I'm ruining my plant. You are not ruining your plant. In the end, what's going to happen is all that energy is going to go up into your fruit, and that's where you want it. Now look at this. He needs to do a better job at this. There's way too many on here. So don't be afraid to trim it up, and you will have some beautiful, beautiful fruit in the end. But people look at, oh, glorious tomato plants, and they exploded. Okay, let's get going. All right, and here's the other exciting thing. Remember I showed you this is our little terraced side hill. Look at what's in here. Oh, I am so excited. We've got, these are our yellow, oh, they're everywhere. Look at that. I think I'm going to need to do some picking. These are our yellow zucchinis. Look at that. We've got our black beauties. Oh, here's a picker. Look at that. Oh, look at that one. I didn't see. Oh, this one's huge. I didn't even see that. Oh, and there's another one back there. So isn't that, I mean, this is just producing so well. Oh, and this is our first year doing, this is a different variety. When I come out to my garden here and I see this wonderful produce that I get, it's just so rewarding. I mean, how can this not be rewarding? This is just, you created it from seed, and then it grows, and then you pick it. So the key to starting a garden is to think outside the box, try something different, but whatever method you choose, try to stick with nature. That really is your best way of gardening, because you know what? God didn't get it wrong. He didn't get it wrong. So remember that, people. All right? Another beautiful day on the homestead. Sun is out. It is outstanding. God bless you guys. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for the comments. Keep them coming. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to Starry Hilder's channel. And there's always going to be more to come. Listen to those birds. Oh, this is great. Praise God. We'll give it an update in a couple more weeks. Keep watching.